Welcome back to my animal education series. Today I'm here with Danielle at the Endangered Wolf Center.
Hi,
Hello.
Cole. Good to see you.
Nice to see you again. And what do we have there behind us?
We have a mom African painted dog, and some of her puppies are out right now. She just ate a good bit of food and then fed it to the pups, so they are chowing down.
And for me at least, it's my first time seeing painted dog puppies. And even though from a distance and I don't have my glasses on, they look adorable.
They are, of course.
And how many of them do you have in total?
So in this litter we have 13, and then this mom has a sister who also had a litter of 10. So we have 23 painted dog puppies right now. Yeah.
That's
So the way that puppies start eating meat is by eating what mom eats. So mom will take a lot of food and eat up to like 25 pounds of food and then regurgitate it for the pups. That's kind of their first taste of meat.
So it's kind of like already like mushy and they don't have to, it's like a solid
It's a
food
little
for them.
easy. It's like baby food. It's a little easier to digest. And mom just disciplined the babies a little bit. They think that they're trying to nurse, and she's ready for them to be done. Yeah, so they just turned 7 weeks old yesterday. So they're getting to about that age where it's time to start weaning off of milk and getting onto that whole food.
And where did you find these animals in the wild? Obviously, I'm going to assume Africa.
Yeah, so they are from the sub-Saharan regions of Africa. They're kind of found in a lot of pocket areas, so their habitats don't overlap too well with each other. So they're facing a lot of genetic bottleneck in the wild. So the different pockets aren't breeding with each other.
And kind of the genetic pool's shrinking.
Exactly.
How would that affect them long term?
So with all that inability to breed and get more genetics in the population, they're facing some genetic issues with that, and then they're facing a lot of human encroachment on their territories. So there are only about 4,000 to 7,000 painted dogs left in the wild.
And are they a part of some sort of SSP program?
They are. So the Painted Dog SSP is very big here in the United States. They help us. We've been in constant contact with them about the best way to manage these new puppies, and they've been a lot of help for us.
And you said like 23 new puppies. That's a good start to helping out.
It is huge. This year has been insane with the number of litters of painted dog puppies born. Usually 1 or 2 happen every year.
And you've had 2 by
and
yourself.
we've had just 2 here. So there are quite a few new additions to the Painted Dog SSP this year.
Which is good. Like it's
It is.
expanding the genetic pool and make it the swap the animals between facilities, and hopefully we'll see a good increase in painted dogs and being released back to the wild.
Yeah.
For
So
the
we're
next
not quite
couple
there.
of years.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet with the Painted Dog SSP. There are not releases into the wild for them right now. But what we do have is a backup population if we do need to get to that point.
So you mentioned off camera that these animals came here as part of the SSP, but which facilities did they come from?
So they came from the Good Zoo in Oglebay, West Virginia. The 2 girls came with their parents and their brother, and so Haka came here just about 1.5 years ago or so. He came with his dad and his brother, and he was born at the Brookfield Zoo, and they came to us from Springfield, Missouri.
And I'm hearing a bunch of vocalizations. What exactly is that vocalization for?
So the
I'm assuming
pups-
it's getting the mom's attention.
Yeah, those pups talk quite a lot, but I think they were just telling mom that we are hungry and we are ready to nurse, and so she is letting them do that right now.
She probably succumbed to the pressure. She couldn't bear them off much longer.
Yeah, she's tried. She's actually laid down on top of them to try to get them to stop nursing. I think she's a little sore.
So what do these painted dogs eat in the wild?
So they typically go after smaller antelope, and they are some of the best hunters. So you might hear, lions are so good at hunting, but they're only successful about 30% of the time, if they're lucky. Painted dogs are so successful at hunting, they get their prey 60 to 70 times out of 100. And it's because they are so cohesive as a group. They work together. Each dog has its own job. So one, it's chasing, and then if that one gets fatigued, another one comes in and takes its place. And that cohesive group and they're working together leads to such success in hunting.
I've seen like videos of them hunting on like Animal Planet and stuff. It's just insane on how they just work as a group. And like they would mention like their stamina, like they can almost outrun it because if, like as you said, if one gets tired, another one's there to take its place.
Yep. And it's just so fascinating. They're so good at working together. They're so social, and they communicate so well with one another.
And what kind of other predators in Africa would like threaten them or like kind of bully them in a way.
So lions and hyenas are at the top of the list. Because painted dogs are such good hunters, they'll often have their prey stolen by some of those larger apex predators in Africa. And so that's part of the reason why they have to eat so much so quickly. Like I said, they can hold up to 25 pounds of food in their stomach. So they take that food and they eat it really, really quickly, and then they get off that carcass. So they're away from those other predators.
And what is some of the enrichment that you do for these painted dogs?
So our absolute favorite thing to give them is deer carcasses. It is one of the most naturalistic food sources that we can feed our animals here at the Endangered Wolf Center, and it best replicates what they'd be eating in the wild. So we receive a lot of deer carcasses from the Certified Bow Hunters Association of St. Louis. We work with them, and they will donate deer to us, and we can feed that out to our animals here at the center. And we do even have a zip line here. Over in this enclosure, we've got 2 posts and a wire running across the entire enclosure where we can actually hang that carcass, and they have to work together as a pack to get it down.
So just more of the enrichment to get more like the wild, because you can only represent the wild so much in captivity.
But we do what we can to replicate it in a creative way.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about these painted dogs.
You're welcome.
And as always, if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Instagram @ColeShirk. And as always, I'll see you next week.